What's going on, everybody? Marvel the Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. And today, folks, we are looking at Detective Comics issue number 36. This issue came out in February of 1940. We're looking at a classic Golden Age issue of an early Batman story here as we continue to go in chronological order here of when Detective Comics wrote these issues. And we'll also be looking into the Batman series coming up here very soon, folks. We'll be looking at issue number 1 soon, but for now, we'll be looking at issue number 36 of Detective Comics as that preceded issue number 1 of Batman. And so today we are looking at a huge appearance here, huge first appearance. We have the first appearance of Hugo Strange. He is a very classic villain of Batman's Rogue Gallery, and we're going to see his first appearance right here in Detective Comics issue number 36. And we got to give credit where credit is due. The great Bob Kane, he drew some of these early issues of Detective Comics. Remember, Detective Comics debuted in issue number 27. Well, now we're looking at issue 36. We see that Batman is looking down and he sees that this man is going to be murdered right on the spot in broad daylight as this speeding car just speeds past him. And we see that they shoot this lone man right here in the middle of the street. Batman hurries himself and gets to the location of this dead man. He said, "Why did they shoot you? Who shot you?" And all he can say is fog and strange. Something about fog and strange. And then he just dies. Well, Batman looks inside of this guy's pockets and he gets a black notebook here. But then the police show up and they accuse Batman of being the murderer of this person here. And so they try to stop him down. They shoot at him, but he easily clears a 6-foot fence. And now, as he returns back to his mansion as Bruce Wayne, he is puzzled as to the words of this dead man. Why did he keep saying why was he muttering about a fog and strange fog? Strange fog. He starts putting these words together and he says it can only mean one thing, something to do with a person named Strange, Professor Hugo Strange. And that's where we find out the first time we hear that name comes from Bruce Wayne. And we learn a little bit about Hugo Strange. He says, Professor Hugo Strange, the most dangerous man in the world, scientist, philosopher, and a criminal genius. Little is known of him, yet this man is undoubtedly the greatest organizer of crime in the world. So from Bruce Wayne, we learn that Hugo Strange is a great organizer of crime, and he is trying his best to rob banks, do anything he can to gain a lot of wealth as a crime organizer in Gotham City. So we see here that he looks in the little black book and he says, all the pages are blank except this one. Why, it's a list of banks in other places. What's this on the bottom? The FBI. That man must have been a government man. So he worked for the FBI, and Hugo Strange pretty much killed him because the FBI guy was getting some info on Hugo Strange and his crime organization. So now we see Hugo Strange. He is peering into his fire here, and his fireplace. He smiles, a malignant smile crosses his face as he broods over the many evil schemes that surge through his brilliant but distorted brain. The guy comes and they're like, oh my goodness, we have a problem, Hugo. He said, what's going on? He said, well, that government man was supposed to, take a ride with us. Well, he was killed, and Batman was spotted, and he got away. And Hugo Strange is like, oh, you cowardly fool. You should have shot him down too. The Batman is the only man with the imagination to sense the exact nature of our plans. However, since the government man is dead, he can get no information from that quarter. And so he's going to try his very best to stop Batman in his tracks. So he's going to send out a lot of people here, a lot of his men, to start just going on a crime spree. As this fog, we see this, there's this fog all around Gotham City, and it's causing confusion with the police force. They're not able to track down this crime easily as the fog keeps getting in the way. Commissioner Gordon is concerned about this, and one crime after another, there's bank robberies and everything. Bruce Wayne is hearing this. He says, an electrical engineer disappears. An unusual fog covers the city. There has to be a link here. Why was this electrical engineer, why did he disappear all of a sudden? It has to be linked to Hugo Strange somehow. So he learns that they're going to make their next stop at this silver company here. It's like a fur company. And the FBI show up. They're detectives. They're trying to raid the place. But we soon see that Batman is going to show up here to help the FBI, help these detectives. And we have a great fighting scenes here. I mean, some awesome action scenes here. Batman alerts the police by shooting off one of the guns. And Hugo Strange learns that a lot of his men were captured by the police thanks to Batman's interference. Hugo is now furious with Batman's interference. He says, I will crush him as readily as I crush this glass. And so we see now that there's going to be the last stop is the Wolf Bros Fur Company here. And here is where we're going to see Batman is going to be ambushed as he walks in. A bunch of Hugo Strange's men is surrounding him. He leaps up in the air, dangles this rope, and gets to the balcony area. And they're like, follow him. He can't get away. And here's some more cool action scenes here. I love the Golden Age. It has just some really cool imagery here from the great Golden Age here. We see Batman. It's like, I'm getting an exercise from you all. I don't even have to go to the gym. Well, all of a sudden, Batman is struck from behind. He is knocked out. And Hugo Strange's men gather the body of Batman and take him back to Hugo Strange's secret hideout here, where once the Batman wakes up from being clobbered by that wrench, we soon see that Batman is going to be tortured here by this whip, but Batman breaks hold of the bonds here from his hands, grabs a glass pellet full of sleeping gas, throws it on the ground. It doesn't affect Hugo Strange at all, but we soon see that finally the first fight ever between Hugo Strange and Batman. Batman gives him one heck of a fight here, and he pretty much wins the fight, bounds Hugo Strange so that Hugo Strange will be left for the police, and then he's going to be on the search for that engineer, that electrical engineer who's been kidnapped by Hugo Strange. He finds him. He says, don't be frightened. And then he says, yes, I am the electrical engineer. And Hugo Strange basically found this way of making concentrating lightning, and he kidnapped me. He found out that hot lightning caused condensed steam in the air, like a sort of unnatural fog in the air, and he forced me to make this machine for him. But for what purpose, I do not know. Well, that purpose was for that fog machine to cover Gotham City so that Hugo Strange's men could rob Gotham in broad daylight without the interference of the police. But Batman was able to stop that. They shut down the machine. The fog just lifts from Gotham City, and the news report announces that thanks to the Batman, the criminal organization of Hugo Strange has been put to an end, and Hugo Strange will be in prison for a long time. But Hugo Strange vows to get revenge as he says, they can't keep me here caged like some wild beast. I'll escape, and when I do, I shall devote the rest of my life in revenging myself upon the Batman. And that is, folks, where we are going to end this issue. Hope you liked the first appearance of Hugo Strange. He will most definitely pop up in future issues of Detective Comics. and Batman. But for now, folks, that is where we're going to stop for now. Coming up next, we will look at issue number 37 of Detective Comics. And issue number 38 will be a big one, so stick around for that one. But number 37 is up next. Go ahead now, before we look at issue number 37, drop a like on this video, subscribe, and also comment down below what you thought about Hugo Strange. Did you think that was a cool first appearance? I'd love to know what you think. And as always, share this with your family and friends, and I will see y'all in the next one.